What's happening? Nick Martinez, the Keto Dad here, and tonight for dinner we made a prosciutto and cheese braid. And does it look delicious or what? Think about kind of the breading of one of those butter braids, but with prosciutto and caramelized onions. This looks absolutely delicious, and it wasn't all that hard to make. Check out the video. All right, this recipe at first glance might be a little bit daunting, but if you just go step by step, it's not that big of a deal. So we're gonna start from the top. We've got some butter here, Kerrygold butter. We're gonna take about a tablespoon of it, and we're gonna heat it up in our saucepan. And then once that butter gets nice and melted, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions to it. After the butter's been melted, we're gonna go ahead and throw the onions in. Notice the butter's nice and bubbly. Perfect spot for the onions. And we'll stir these around a little bit. All right, the onions have caramelized. They're looking really, really good. We're gonna add some balsamic vinaigrette. And we also have, we're supposed to add garlic, but we don't have any garlic, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of garlic powder. And we're gonna let the balsamic basically evaporate here. Here we go. Ooh, now that's looking good. All right, the balsamic is evaporated here or cooked down. Now we're gonna put our very thinly sliced prosciutto in. Look at this. Oh yeah, it's nice. Uh-oh, careful. So we're just gonna put it in. This is really thin. Usually prosciutto comes this way if you get it cut right. And then you're gonna cook this down. This is looking good. We've got the prosciutto all cooked down and the caramelized onions. It looks amazing. Now it's time to let this rest and get to the best part. Next step could be interesting. I've never done it this way. I've used the mozzarella cheese and microwaved it quite a bit to make different doughs, but this one calls for a double boiler. I like to keep things simple. I'm not that complicated. So I'm just gonna use a pan and see how it goes. I am gonna add a little butter so it helps it from sticking. And then I'm gonna take a pinch of salt beforehand as that melts and put it into my cheese. And then I've also got some almond flour that's gonna go in here. And I'm just gonna mix this around together a little bit. It's about 3/4 cup of almond flour before I put it into the pan here. And now we're just going to dump this in here and see what happens. All right, it's starting to come together. Check it out. You just have to be a little bit patient with it as it starts to melt down, but look at that. The almond flour is kind of mixing in with the cheese, and the butter's already all mixed in there. Give it another 2 minutes, we'll be good to go. All right, check that action out. It looks just like a ball of dough. That's what it is, a ball of dough. Let's put it over here. Ooh, it's pretty hot. Be careful, don't burn yourself. Just want to get it kind of in the shape that we want it before we roll it out. All right, now, roll this sucker out into kind of an oblong shape. You want it pretty long. There we go. No issue with it sticking given the cheesiness of it. We're gonna take our filling and we're gonna spread it over the middle third of the dough here. Just like that. Oh yeah, Juliana's excited. She's ready to eat some of this. Wow. Look at that, those caramelized onions look amazing. The prosciutto looks wonderful. Just kind of spread it out. All right, now we're gonna take some cheese. We need about a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. Oh look, this is brand new. Look at that. Oh yeah, 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese is gonna be awesome. I can tell you already. Oh yeah. This is the part I'm not sure about. It's the braid part of it. So here's what you do, or at least I think what you do. You basically are gonna cut down about inch wide strips, just like this, down the braid. You're gonna do this down both sides and try to do an equal number on each side. Artsy part, we're just gonna start folding the braids over, and you're just gonna crisscross them. Crisscross, or as we say to the kiddo, crisscross applesauce. Got my egg. The egg is the secret topping for the top. Just gonna whisk it gently. And this is something you're not gonna use all of the egg, according to the recipe. You're just gonna use a little bit. So we're gonna baste our scrumptious looking, I don't know what you call it, braid. Butter braid. You guys ever had butter braids? I loved butter braids going up. Those definitely were not low carb though. Holy moly. Talk about a sugar influx. Man, this is looking delicious. The oven is preheated to 375. Once I get all of this in here. Last thing that we have is a little bit of Parmesan cheese that goes right on top of that egg. It's about a tablespoon worth. And just gonna have that go over there nicely. Oh, looking good. Now we're gonna take a little bit of black pepper. We're not huge pepper people at my house, so we're just gonna do a very little bit. And voila. I'm gonna turn this just a hair so that it doesn't overdo the plate. Now what we're gonna do is put this in the oven for about 17 to 22 minutes. Timer just went off. Let's see how it looks. Oh my goodness. Does this not look amazing? I mean, look at this thing. Woo! All right, now we're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes so that it cools down. So excited, we've let it rest for about 5 minutes. We're gonna cut some pieces and see how it turned out. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Let's check it out. Oh, nice, look at that. Does that not look delicious? Oh my goodness, we gotta try it. Let's see how it is. It looks absolutely delicious. Mmm. It's kind of like flaky. Mmm. The onions are amazing. The prosciutto is really good, you can taste that. This gets a big thumbs up in my book. I'm definitely making this again. Again, fantastic for like a dinner party, fantastic for an appetizer. Oh, super simple to make too. The recipe looks daunting, don't let it scare you, it's actually pretty simple. Remember, Nick Martinez, the Keto Dad, where we keep it simple, keep it fun, keep it keto. Have an awesome night.